You are Locked On Giants Postcast, part of Locked On Sports San Francisco on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Locked On Giants Postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. You may know me as the former producer for the Murph and Mac Morning Show on KMBR. And today, the Giants couldn't pull off the late game comeback as they leave the bases loaded in the bottom of the 10th with the winning run on third base. The Dodgers responded with a 7-run knockout punch in the 11th inning to give the Giants their 44th loss of the season. Overall, the offense played pretty well. They chased ace Tyler Glasnow from the game after just 3 innings, but again, they couldn't come up with hits with runners in scoring position. Stop me if you've heard this one before. And the bullpen is reaching critical mass point in the number of innings pitched. Today, the longest game of the season, did not help. We'll break it all down, but first, I want to thank all of you for watching us on the Locked On Sports San Francisco YouTube channel. If you aren't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button right now. Make sure to also check out the Locked On Giants Daily Show for more in-depth coverage on the Locked On Giants podcast feed. If you're getting our show there, we appreciate you tuning in as well. Well, however you're getting the show, we appreciate it. In this episode of the Locked On Giants Postcast is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah. The right stay can make you a fan of any city, even your rivals. Check out Booking.com for your stay today. I don't know how many Giants fans are going to be super eager to travel down to Los Angeles after this loss, man. This was frustrating. This was beyond frustrating. Let's just go right to the good stuff. In the bottom of the 10th, well, the top of the 10th, the Dodgers took a 1-run lead, a Rojas single to center, scored the Manfred man, gave them a 1-run lead, 7-6. It was 6-6 for the vast majority of this game. And then in the 10th inning, David Villar, an unlikely hero. It felt like all the good things were happening for the Giants late in this one. David Villar doubles, ties it up at 7. Lamont Wade Jr. is intentionally walked. Nick Ahmed did ground out to start the inning. So the Giants doing this all with 1 out. Then Ramos infield single down the third baseline. Giants have the bases loaded, 1 out, 1 run in, tie ball game in the bottom of the 10th. It looks like we are all about to go home with a second consecutive walk-off win for the Giants. And then instead, Pat Bailey, strikeout, and Chris Taylor, who the Dodgers did a really weird thing, brought him in from the outfield to have a 5-player infield and a 2-player outfield. So that was a little interesting of a move. Didn't really matter because Bailey struck out, and then Matt Chapman pops out right behind the catcher, right to Will Smith in foul ground. Man, 2 wasted golden opportunities, and this was a day when Matt Chapman had 3 hits. He just couldn't come up with one when it mattered most. Neither could Pat Bailey. Pat Bailey also had a hit in this one, but ends up 1 for 6 on the day. Not great, not terrible, but not great. The Giants then in the top of the 11th, Sean Jelly stays out there because the Giants threw like every single pitcher in their bullpen today and have a bullpen game tomorrow again. So Sean Jelly stays out there as the sacrificial lamb to start the 11th inning, issues an intentional walk to Shohei. Then a Will Smith double plates 2 Dodgers, 9-7 Dodgers lead. Really bad play by Luis Matos in left field. There was a ball slicing kind of towards him, slicing towards the left field line. Matos running in from left field towards the left center gap. And I don't know if he just lost it or if he just misplayed it. I mean, we have seen Matos not really able to track these line drives out in the outfield multiple times this season. He lets it fall. It didn't even fall in front of him. It fell like off to the side. He completely overran that ball. It was like a few feet to the right of him. And he's obviously his gloves on his left hand. So he overran the ball from his glove side to his non-glove side, and then it fell in front of him as well. So, maybe the wind was not, we know how the wind gets at Oracle, but ultimately that's a play that, you can't let that ball squirt by you in that situation. It looks like he was in between making a decision to dive or play it on the bounce. But you got to make a choice, man. You cannot let that happen. The ball gets by him. Thankfully, Ramos was on his horse, backed up that play, didn't let didn't let Freeman get further than second base. But I mean, I say thankfully, but at that point it was already too late. Dodgers were another run scored on the play. Dodgers take a 10-7 lead. Then another single drives in another run for the Dodgers, 11-7. Dodgers lead, and the merry-go-round just wouldn't stop, man. A triple by Jason Hayward down the first baseline, and poor Austin Slater, man, that ball looked like it was going to hit the wall, carry him out into the outfield, but instead it just hugs the wall, does not touch it, and rolls all the way to the wall. Slater in a bad position to make the play, makes the score 13-7 Dodgers, and then a sacrifice fly makes it an even 14-7 LA over San Francisco. No, I am not talking Rams Niners. We are talking Dodgers Giants. And the Dodgers batted around in the inning. It was the second inning in this game that the Dodgers batted around in, and just make it stop, please. God, make it stop. This was just, I have no idea how the Giants come back from this tomorrow in a bullpen game tomorrow and come with any sort of juice. This is just to lose an extra innings game is one thing. To lose an extra innings game that you had in the bag and end up losing by 7 to just get rocked like this, it's just heartbreaking. The Giants are now 5-5 in extra innings games on the year. And really, the big story in this one was, the two big storylines was the bullpen is now, I think we're reaching a point where the bullpen has officially reached their tipping point. I don't know if you can keep riding them in these types of bullpen games. You need to find guys who can pitch, at least 3-4 innings in an outing. Spencer Howard got the bulk work today and did not pitch well. And then obviously the other issue is, again, hitting with runners in scoring position, just 5 for 23 with runners in scoring position today. Obviously 0 for 2 in extra innings, 0 for 3 in that 10th inning for the Giants. They could not get any of those runs in. It was tough. I guess 1 for 4 because VR also did play to run in that 10th inning, but the Giants just needed that one run, and it could have been a huge difference. There was also some big blunders on the base paths again for this Giants team. This is so beyond frustrating to have a team that not only can't do anything right on the base paths for themselves, but they're just giving up free 90s left and right to other teams. That wasn't the steals for the Dodgers weren't a big deal in this one, but twice in this one, the Giants make the first out of the inning at third base. You cannot do that. And one of them was especially bad. The bottom of the second, Chapman hits a leadoff double. He tries to steal third, but leaves way too early. Glasnow just casually throws over to third, gets him out. What are we doing here? We're just running into outs on the bases at third base for the first out of the inning, man. That is, everybody who's ever played like coach pitch knows you do not make the first out of the inning at third base. What a time to run too, by the way, for a team that can't steal. I really trust Bob Melvin in a lot of these situations, but man, lately he has been making some really questionable moves. Why? I know it's not coming directly from Melvin probably, but why are we stealing in that situation? You have a leadoff double. Just hit. Get the guy in. See if you can have some productive outs. Do not try and steal third base when you are like not one of the worst, hands down the worst team at stealing bases in the big leagues. Either one of those, either this Matt Chapman run or the Jorge Soler one was a little less egregious, but still really bad. In the bottom of the third, the Giants actually ended up having a big third inning, scored 4 runs in the inning, but Soler, he doubled to score Ahmed, who walked to start off the inning. And then he inexplicably runs on a ground ball to shortstop that is in front of him, which, again, everybody who has played, the earliest levels of organized baseball knows. Ball in front of you, if you aren't forced to run, if it's not a forced play, then you wait to see if you get a couple steps off the bag, you see what the guy does with it, but you freeze. You don't just break for the bag. And so the Dodgers had an easy play at third base to get Soler out, and you're running into outs. That run, the Giants ended up, Conforto comes up next in doubles. I'm pretty sure that's what happened next was Conforto doubled. But point being, the Giants had 6 base runners in that inning, plated 4 runs. Absolutely, Soler would have scored in that merry-go-round if he had just not run into that out at third base. All the Giants needed was one of those 2 runs to score, and they win this thing in regulation. They don't even need to go to extra innings. We don't even need the drama in the 10th where the Giants have the bases loaded with less than 2 outs and they can't get a run in. None of that matters if they just don't run into stupid outs on the base paths. It is so frustrating to lose games this way. It is so frustrating to lose to the Dodgers this way, of all teams, in extras. It is so incredibly frustrating that the Giants, game in and game out, every time they give you something to believe in, they do something to make you not. They do something to make you say, I don't know how this team gets in the playoffs. I don't know how this team is going to be able to beat other teams down the stretch. I don't know how this team is going to be able to beat teams over 500, other playoff teams, when they do things like this. When you go 5 for 23 with runners in scoring position, when you leave 15 runners on base, it's when you're running into outs and you're making the first out of the inning at third. This is just who the Giants are. They're an inconsistent team, and the hallmark of a team that is inconsistent, or of a 500 team, is a team that is inconsistent. And I know the Giants aren't even 500. The never-ending climb to 500 throughout this entire season continues today. The Giants, their 44th loss of the season. They have 40 wins. They are 4 games back from 500. Meanwhile, looking over at the Dodgers, they are 52-32. This is so frustrating. I mean, I'm not sitting here with illusions that the Giants are gonna, go on some crazy run after they sweep the Dodgers with the series at home at Oracle Park, and that they're going to make a run to win the NL West. I think we all know, and we all felt going into the season, that the NL West was pretty much wrapped up for the Dodgers. But at least show some damn fight. Like, this had a playoff vibe to it throughout the whole game. And for you to just roll over and die in extra innings like that, 14-7, you lose by 7 runs. And I'm not going to sit here and dump on Sean Jelly. I mean, he did everything that he could. I mean, 2 innings of work. Dude has pitched so much lately, and I mean, leaving him out there to just hung out to dry. I mean, he was clearly struggling. He clearly didn't have it after he gave up that Will Smith double, but there's just nobody else in the bullpen. Who are you going to pitch? I mean, you already threw Eric Miller, Spencer Howard, Randy Rodriguez, Taylor Rogers, Ryan Walker, Camilo Doval, and Sean Jelly. That is 7 pitchers. Oh, by the way, we have a bullpen game tomorrow, so that should go really well for the depleted Giants bullpen, which is just running on fumes and has been running on fumes for what, a month now. This is just getting to a tipping point, I think, for the bullpen for the Giants. I mean, they can't have the All-Star break get here soon enough. They can't have these guys come off the injured list soon enough. This is a very, very, very frustrating loss. We got more to break down from this one. There was some positives in this one. The Giants did put over 20 runners on base. That's a good thing. But you got to come up with hits in the clutch when it matters. So we'll break down a lot more from this game on the other side. Stick with us on the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. We'll be right back. This episode of Locked On Giants Postcast is brought to you by Booking.com. Yeah. With summer travel heating up, especially travel for baseball games, it's time to explore those U.S. cities you've always secretly wanted to learn more about. Yes, we're talking about your rivals' cities. With hotels, bed, and breakfasts, vacation rentals, resorts, and so much more on Booking.com, you might just find your perfect stay even in your baseball rival's city. You guys already know Oracle Park is the best in all of baseball, but everyone I've talked to says Petco's pretty nice too. San Diego is beautiful this time of year, so head down to Booking.com and scope out some spots for your next trip. Check out Petco Park. I don't think I can bring myself to endorse the Dodgers on today of all days. From hotels that look over stadiums to family-friendly resorts, Booking.com has so many choices across the U.S. for your summer travel this MLB season. The right stay can make you a fan of any U.S. city, even your rivals. Book today on Booking.com on the site or in the Booking.com app. And today's episode is also brought to you by FanDuel. I love sports. I love them so much, I never want them to stop. But as the playoffs wind down in the NBA and NHL, we get fewer games. And sports just aren't sportsing like I want them to, even though I love my baseball. But FanDuel lets me keep the sports going whenever I want. All I have to do is open the app and dream up any bets anytime I'm in the mood. And with the Euros, with Copa America, with the Olympics right around the corner, you guys already know that I can get lots and lots and lots of bets going on all these different categories. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. So head over to fanduel.com/locked on and start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Welcome back to the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel, and I am just looking at this chat real quick. And oh man, there is a lot of angst and upset fans right now. And I get it, man. I'm pissed. I'm so upset right now. Like this is a game the Giants had in the bag. They have been so terrible with runners in scoring position this year. This is nothing new. We have talked about it, I mean, ad nauseum, like relentlessly. Like, I do not want to come on here every single damn day and talk about how the Giants just can't get it done in clutch moments, how they can't hit with runners in scoring position, how all their big free agent signings have let them down, especially in these big moments. And today, Matt Chapman, even though he did have 3 hits, glaring mistakes for Matt Chapman. I mean, the running into the third or the first out of the inning at third base, not being able to come up with a hit in that situation with 2 outs in the bottom of the 10th. I mean, he wasn't able to make a very tough play, and I know that everyone is going to jump on him for that play at third that he could have made, that second Will Smith infield single of the day. God, I hate Will Smith. This guy, just every time he just kills the Giants, just kills them. And today Will Smith, nothing new for Will Smith. He had 3 hits and 3 RBIs in his 6 at bats. But I mean, Matt Chapman really let the Giants down today, even though he did have 3 hits, even though he did have a couple of doubles in this one, running into that out at third base and coming up so short. Like, pop out to the catcher in that situation. Come on, man. Like, at least put the ball in play. Pat Bailey too, man. Like, that was not his best performance. Pat Bailey, I mean, he's pretty damn consistent out there. He's batting .280 this season as a catcher. That's pretty solid. But you expect more from Matt Chapman. This is why he was signed in situations like this, to deliver. I'm not gonna bag on him for not being able to make that play on the Will Smith infield single, though. That was a really tough play. It did look not a great look for Matt Chapman, though, tripping and doing like a scorpion belly slide across the middle of the infield after he wasn't able to come up with that play. But I mean, Soler too. Soler and Chapman both hit relatively well today. They both picking up some extra base hits, but both running into outs at third base. And this is something that is just so frustrating, that even when these guys are, I mean, how long do we have to wait for these guys to start playing like the guys that the Giants thought they were going to get? I mean, they're finally both starting to hit a little bit better. Chapman's batting average up to 240, that OPS sitting at 727. Soler slowly digging himself out of his own grave, average at 226, OPS just below 700 at 695. So, I mean, he is a second half player. The bat path looks better. The swings look better. The at-bats look better. Both guys chasing less pitches. Matt Chapman hitting balls a million miles an hour. Same with Soler. But my God, how do you make these mistakes? How do you, as a veteran player, run into these outs? It is so incredibly aggravating, and you can't continue to give away free 90s on both sides. Like, if you're letting other teams get free 90s all the time, and you're not able to, you're just giving up outs on the base paths, that's that's a really good way to lose some games. I mean, the Giants did a lot of things to lose this game. 5 for 23 with runners in scoring position, a good way to lose a game. Runners left in scoring position with 2 outs. Matt Chapman 3 times. Brett Wisely 3 times. Nick Ahmed and Pat Bailey also in that group. This was so incredibly frustrating for the Giants. I mean, a ton of them offensively. They did pretty well. So it's rough to have a game like this where you get 13 hits, you draw 7 walks, but you can't get the hit that matters. I mean, they ended up striking out 9 times, and in the Pat Bailey strikeout might have been the biggest one of them all. You need a productive out in that situation. You need to be able to move runners over. You need to be able to lift one to the outfield, score a run in this game. in the moments that matter most. And you got to be able to pick up this bullpen. You have to. I mean, in a game like this, I don't think the Giants really have any realistic chance of winning tomorrow, and thus I don't think they have any chance of winning the series after the wear and tear on the bullpen today. I mean, it's really frustrating, especially when the bullpen pitched after Spencer Howard gave up those 6 runs, Randy Rodriguez 0, a donut, Taylor Rogers a 0, a donut, Ryan Walker a 0, Doval a 0 in the earned runs category. All of these guys holding it down for 6+ innings, and then the Giants offense can't deliver, can't give them one single run in that time frame. I mean, you got to figure out how to score. And this was the Giants. I guess they did get 1 run in the 10th. So they did get 1 run in that time frame, but 1 run in the 10th when Sean Jelly was out there on the mound. But again, Jelly's pitched a ton of innings. This Giants bullpen has pitched more innings than any other team in baseball. And we keep checking in on these injury list recovery rehab assignments. And I mean, I guess we got to do it now too, because I mean, you can't keep going with bullpen games. You can't keep expecting the offense to generate 7 runs. I mean, the Giants generate 7 runs and lose. That is bad, because this team is not built to score 7+ runs very often. And so you need the starting pitching to come back flat out. That is the number one way that the Giants can start winning games, is having effective starting pitchers come off of the injured list and contribute, I mean, at least 3-4 innings, so that the bullpen isn't throwing, 7 dudes a game. So Robbie Ray, Blake Snell, both in action in separate rehabs last night. Ray started for Single A San Jose in his 6th rehab game, his 5th start on his way back from Tommy John. He tossed 3 2/3 innings versus Fresno, allowed 3 hits, no walks, 4 strikeouts. He threw 48 pitches, 33 for strikes. So he's filling up that strike zone. Blake Snell made his 2nd rehab start in AAA. If you remember, that first one was not that great. He's dealing with that left adductor / groin issue. He worked 3 innings and allowed 3 runs on 4 hits, gave up a home run, struck out 6 though, and walked 1, threw 62 pitches, 41 for strikes. Very Blake Snell of him. 3 innings, 62 pitches. Sounds like Blake Snell. Giving up a home run in 3 runs and 4 hits in just 3 innings. That sounds like Blake Snell. And remember, this is in AAA, where the ball just flies out there in Sacramento, especially this time of year. It's super hot out there. Just shout out all those teams that are going to have to go up to that ballpark and play in 110+ degree heat on some turf next year. I'm sure teams like the Yankees are going to love going to play the Oakland A's by way of Sacramento next year at a AAA ballpark. That should be great. So anyways, the Giants needing some guys to come back. Robbie Ray is still probably a little ways away. I mean, it's going to be a long build up back from Tommy John. Blake Snell, I'm sure that the Giants are just chomping at the bit for him to get back out there. But I mean, do we really want Blake Snell to be rushed back with what we've seen from him this year? I personally don't. I want a healthy Blake Snell or no Blake Snell at all. I do not want any more, 9 runs in 4 innings pitched or 7 runs in 4 innings pitched. Like we can just do that with the bullpen instead. You know what I mean? And that would be just fine. This is incredibly frustrating. Coming into today, the Giants had thrown a major league high 340.2 innings pitched out of their bullpen. That's insane. It's insane. And they threw another 11 today for the bullpen. And this was the 11-inning game, marks the longest game of the season so far for the Giants. All of their other extra innings games have wrapped up in 10 innings. And Ryan Walker made his 42nd appearance of the year, at second most in all of Major League Baseball. So I mean, this is, I don't know how much longer you can ride this. I don't know how much longer you can just throw these bullpen games, twice every time you go through the order. This is bad. We're reaching a critical point. We will see more games like this the more that we go to the bullpen in situations like this. This is the Dodgers too. Like, this is the best lineup in all of baseball, even without Mookie Betts, still one of the best lineups in all of baseball. And you can't trot out 2 bullpen games against the best lineup in baseball and expect to win. You just can't. You need to have your starting pitchers come back. You need to have some contribution. Look what happened last night. Logan Webb gets out there on the mound, gives you 7 quality innings, and the Giants win. Are they in a position to win last night without Logan Webb, without quality starting pitching? Absolutely not. This is what the Giants need in order to actually win some games, especially against tougher competition. This is what we thought the strength of the team was going to be coming into the season, and it has been one of their biggest weaknesses because of injuries and also because of underperformances. We can't ignore what Blake Snell and Keaton Wynn have failed to do this season, but a lot of those inflated ERAs came in starts that those guys got hurt in pitching, trying to pitch through those injuries. Again, no excuses. If you're out there, you got to make it work. But the Giants are just marred with injuries right now, especially to the starting pitching staff. And they got to figure something out, man. You can't keep throwing bullpen games against teams like the Dodgers. Got to take another quick break here on the Locked On Giants postcast. We will be right back. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. More to break down from this one on the other side. Stick with us right through this quick break on the Locked On Giants postcast. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time makes getting NBA Finals tickets, NHL tickets, and MLB tickets even faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch, tip-off, puck drop, whatever you're looking for. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NBA or MLB tickets. I love the last-minute deals where you can save up to 60% on buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, whatever you're into. Zone deals are pretty sweet too. If you know you want to go see the Giants and you know you want to sit in a specific part of the yard, maybe up on that arcade in the right field wall, or maybe you want to get rowdy in the left field bleachers, maybe you want to sit in the bleachers and kick some of those damn Dodger fans out, I would really appreciate that. You just choose a section and let Game Time choose the seats and save even more money. And of course, you got to love the all-in pricing. Make sure to toggle this feature on to show the total upfront with no surprise fees at checkout. I hate surprise fees, so this sounds great to me. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Welcome back to the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel, and today the Giants lose a very frustrating game, 14-7 to the Dodgers, a game that the Giants had every opportunity to win. I actually just pulled up the baseball savant page from this one and looked at the win probability tab, and I probably shouldn't have done that, but just the slide at the end of this game for the Giants. My God, man. Sarah Lang's one of my favorite follows on Twitter. I love when she tweets out those Giants wins where you know it looks like a slide at the end. She usually captions it like "wee" because it looks like, you know, one team sliding on into victory. This is not a slide that I like very much at all. Dodgers win after they score seven runs in extra innings. Giants had an opportunity with the bases loaded and less than 2 outs in the bottom of the 10th in a tie game. Had every opportunity to win this one and couldn't do it. And man, it sounded like a Dodgers home game out there. And this is getting so frustrating. I mean, I have gone to Dodger Stadium. I've gone into the belly of the beast, and I know those games can be tense. And I mean, I'm not even asking Giants fans to deal with Dodgers fans on their home turf. I'm not even expecting Giants fans to like pay it back and take over Dodger Stadium. I know that's not going to happen, but for the love of God, can we please stop them from invading Oracle Park? Get out there, go buy some damn tickets, get out to the game and support the Giants. Like, I'm not saying that was going to be the make or break thing here, but just have some pride, man. Have some pride for your team. Like, I get that it's frustrating what the Giants have done in recent years. I get that it's frustrating that people feel disconnected from the ownership and all that, but do you really need to be connected to the ownership? Are you really going out there because you think Charles Johnson and Farhan Zaidi are great dudes? Like, no. You're going out there to watch a baseball game at the most beautiful ballpark in all of the world, and you want to see the Giants win a game. Yeah, of course you want to see them win a game. They haven't been doing that a ton this year, but it's not like they're one of the worst teams in baseball. Like, the Giants' attendance is in the top 10 this season. So why in the hell can we not get out to Dodgers games? Why am I looking why am I sitting here watching on TV and seeing just a sea of blue? But every time they do a zoom in on the pitcher and I'm looking at the bleachers in the background, all I see is blue and white. No orange and black at all. So please, for the love of God, get out to a Giants-Dodgers game. We got one more at Oracle Park. It's tomorrow. So, oh, by the way, we're gonna go ahead and give out these Giants Mickey Mouse ears hats on a game when the Giants are having a Mickey Mouse starting pitching staff, and they're going to throw another bullpen game after having the bullpen pitch 11 innings the day before. And oh, by the way, you know who we might see tomorrow just out of necessity is good old Luke Jackson. And the reason I bring that up is because Luke Jackson, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention when they show the little graphic, promoting the giveaway item of the Mickey Ears Giants hat. It's Luke Jackson wearing it. And I can't think of a more fitting Giant to model the Mickey Mouse ears than Luke Jackson, because Mickey loves jokes, and Luke Jackson has been the biggest joke the Giants have played on its fan base this entire season. So expect Luke Jackson to give up some runs to the Dodgers tomorrow. Shohei Ohtani did go yard in this one, his 26th of the season. Maybe he does it again tomorrow against Luke Jackson. Well, the Giants can sit there and poke fun at the Dodgers for something that happened 4 years ago. 4 years ago, we're still going to try and dump on this team for winning the Mickey Mouse ring. Like, yeah, it's funny. Like, yes, I agree that the championship is the most fugazi championship in all of sports history ever across any sport. Like, even amongst the other, like the NBA bubble championship and all that stuff, a baseball season being shortened to 60 some odd games is just laughable. Like, less than half of what the regular season should actually be. Absolutely laughable. So I don't think most people credit the Dodgers for winning a real, quote, real World Series in 2020, but you can't be sitting in your own grave trying to punch up at a team that's 20 games above 500 while you have struggled to even play like more than 3 games above 500 yourselves all season long. It looks weak. It looks pathetic. It looks like the Giants don't have anything else going for them. So they got to sit back and take some pot shots at the Dodgers and just go with the easiest low-hanging fruit that you can get. I think it's a bad look, man. I really do. Plus, the hat just looks stupid. Like, I mean, I've never been the Mickey Ears guy. Like, at Disneyland, I'm not going to go run out and buy a Mickey Ears hat. That's just not my thing. Putting it on a Giants hat somehow makes it look even more dumb. So, I mean, maybe you're a Disney adult and you love the Mickey Ears Giants giveaway, and I'm not trying to dump on you. Like, more power to you. If you love Disney, if you're a Disney adult, good for you. I hope you enjoy that life. But I think for most baseball fans, this just looks like a weak, pathetic attempt to take a jab at your rival that is infinitely better than you, that you would trade places with in a heartbeat, whose entire batting lineup, like, you take like any one of 7 guys on that team, put them on the Giants, they're instantly their best player. Instantly. I mean, I think this looks weak. I think it's lame. I not a fan. Not a fan. Makes sense that Luke Jackson is modeling this joke of a giveaway on a joke of a guy for the Giants this year. I mean, he's got an ERA up over 9 in his last several starts, and yeah, Giants just feel like they're playing a big old joke on all of us, trying to make us forget that this team is actually 4 games under 500 and the Dodgers are like 20 games over. So that should be fun if you're going out there to the yard tomorrow. Hope you enjoy your Mickey Ears hat. I know I mean, there's a lot of giveaway items that I regrettably can't get out to the yard as much because I got to do these post games. I love doing these post games. It's not like a big old bummer that I can't go out to all the games that I used to be able to go to. But every now and again, there's a giveaway item that I'm like, damn, I wish I could have gotten out to the yard to grab that. Like the Beat LA Hawaiian t-shirt they give away today. Oh man, that thing looks money. Would love to get one of those, but you won't see me searching for the Giants Mickey Ears on resale sites. Just no. Giants lose a frustrating one today. 14-7. No, it's not 14-7 LA over San Francisco. No, it's not. Dodgers or Rams, Niners. It is Dodgers, Giants. I struggled to get through that one, man. I am frustrated. I am like borderline angry with this loss, man. Like really, really, really getting frustrated with this team, with the lack of consistency, the up and down roller coaster ride of a season that it's been. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating, and it's testing the patience of the entire Giants fan base. We got to wrap up this show. We're overtime, as we usually are here on the Locked On Giants Postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E. Engel. We'll be coming to you live tomorrow after yet another bullpen game against the Dodgers. We'll see how that goes. I'm predicting not well, and you'll probably get a very similar vibe from me tomorrow because, man, I am so sick and tired of the Giants losing to the damn Dodgers. It is the worst thing in all of sports. The thing I hate most in all of sports is watching Giants lose to the Dodgers. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for suffering through this one with me. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. We'll see you next time on the Locked On Giants postcast tomorrow after Giants Dodgers wrap up their series. We'll see you next time. Peace.